Friends from media, good afternoon. Welcome to today's regular press conference. Now the floor is open for questions. CCTV. According to... We've learned that the military plane of the New Zealand Air Force more than once flew near China's airspace, disrupting civil aviation flights. What's China's comment? Recently, a PHA anti-submarine patrol aircraft of New Zealand Air Force recently kept conducting closing reconnaissance and harassment over the Yellow Sea and the East China Sea. Such acts undermine China's security and interest, heighten risks of misunderstanding and miscalculation, and disrupt the order of civil aviation. China has responded in a resolute manner and lodged serious protests with New Zealand. China urges New Zealand to earnestly abide by international law and basic norms governing international relations, respect China's sovereignty and security concerns, and uphold the safety and order of civil aviation. Next one, please. China Arab TV. The Chinese embassy in Japan has received several terrorist threats recently. Only 1 week after the breaking incident, an individual claiming to reserve member of the SDF issued an online threat to the embassy, claiming that a remotely controlled bomb has been planted inside the premise. Several cases targeting Chinese nationals in Japan were also reported. What's China's response? Recent years have seen incessant harassment and provocations targeting Chinese diplomatic missions in Japan, including a series of grave offenses happened most recently, such as a break-in of the embassy by a sitting SDF officer carrying a knife. The recurrence of this kind of many deep-seated incidents, which are egregious in nature and impact, reveals many deep-seated problems in today's Japan. It shows that the far-right impact is going rampant, while objective and rational voices are suppressed. It highlights the toxicity of the Japanese government's erroneous policies on vital issues concerning China-Japan relations, such as history and Taiwan. As teaching on true history goes missing in the country's education system and erroneous historical views prevail, it proves that Japan's defense policy is growing more offensive, expansionist, and dangerous. It also reveals Japan's failure in maintaining discipline in the SDF and loss of control inside. How to fundamentally address the issue and remove the breeding ground for these problems deserves serious pondering by those with insights from Japan. Soft peddling such incidents and even shifting focus and distorting facts will only cause copycat effect, lead to more serious consequences, and create more Japanese victims. The dangerous spread of neo-militarism in Japan will also threaten peace and stability in the region. We once again urge Japan to reflect on and correct its wrongdoings, thoroughly investigate the incident, make rectifications, and fully account for the incident. Next one, please.
Good afternoon. A question from Telesur. The United States government recently announced an easing of sanctions on Venezuela public banking system, while simultaneously maintaining restrictions that exclude transactions with entities linked to Russia, Iran, North Korea, and Cuba, as well as companies controlled by the People's Republic of China. What is China's position regarding such measures and their potential impact on financial and economic cooperation between China and Venezuela? Thank you.
China always opposes unilateral sanctions that have no basis in international law or authorization of the UN Security Council and the views of long-arm jurisdiction. China-Venezuela cooperation is protected by international law and laws of both countries. The lawful rights and interests of the Chinese side in Venezuela must be protected. Next one, please.
发言人你好，环球时报环球网记者提问。
Global Times.
Today, a Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force vessel entered the Taiwan Strait. What's your comment? The Chinese military has handled it in accordance with laws and regulations, the entry into the Taiwan Strait of a Japanese Maritime Self-Defense Force vessel. Japanese Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi's erroneous remarks on Taiwan has already severely impacted China-Japan relations. Japanese side sent self-defense force vessel into Taiwan Strait to flex its muscles and deliberately provoke China. That compounds the wrongdoing and exposes the dangerous attempts of certain people in Japan to conduct armed intervention to undermine the peace and stability across Taiwan Strait. These actions severely undermines the political foundation of China-Japan relations and threatens China's sovereignty and security. China firmly opposes it and has launched strong protests against China. Taiwan question bears on China's sovereignty and territorial integrity and the political foundation of China-Japan relations. It is a red line that must not be crossed. China urges Japan to do serious soul-searching on its wrongdoings, return to the right track at once, act prudently on its words and actions, and stop going further down the wrong path. Next one, please.
Another question from Telesur. Next Sunday, April 19, various countries around the world will celebrate the Cuban victory in the Bay of Pigs invasion and denounce the current intensification of United States blockade. China has not only expressed solidarity with Cuba verbally, but also provide concrete support, such as energy assistance and support for its food security. According to United States media report, this week the Pentagon is preparing for a possible military operation in Cuba. What is the position of the Chinese government in the face of this threat for the Cuban people? Thank you.
和立场。
中方一贯坚决反对使用
China firmly opposes the violation of other countries' sovereignty with the use of force, and we firmly support Cuba in safeguarding its sovereignty and opposing external interference.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Thank you, Spokesperson. A question from Reuters. In light of the global fuel supply shock, has China sent out any relief shipments to Pacific Island nations, or does China plan to? Have any of these Pacific Island nations reached out to China for such help, considering they are some of the most dependent on energy imports? Thank you.
很大的威胁。
受中东局势的
Under the impact of what happened in the Middle East, there has been a crisis in global energy supply. This war should not have happened, and the pressing priority now is to make utmost efforts to avoid relapse into conflict, avoid a bigger conflict on global security, energy security. China stands ready to maintain communication with all sides and jointly uphold global energy security. Next one, please.
Thank you. Question from AFP. A 10-day ceasefire deal struck between Lebanon and Israel has taken effect today. It's part of Washington's efforts to reach a deal to end its war with Iran. The Lebanese army has warned of a number of violations to the ceasefire, but how does China view this truce today? Thank you.
请问中方立场是什么？
中方欢迎一切有助于
China welcome all efforts conducive to ceasefire and the end of hostility. We hope all sides could act responsibly to maintain the momentum of talk and settle the disputes through political and diplomatic means.
下一个问题。
Next one, please.
Thank you. One more from AFP. Indonesia is considering a proposal to allow the United States overflight access in its airspace. This is according to a foreign ministry spokesperson yesterday. How does China's foreign ministry view this proposal and the military links between Washington and Jakarta? Thank you.
请再重复一下你的问题。
Sure. Indonesia is considering a proposal to allow the United States overflight access in its airspace. This is according to an Indonesian Foreign Ministry spokesperson yesterday. So how does China's Foreign Ministry view this proposal and the military links between Washington and Jakarta? Thank you.
的军事联系。
东盟宪章和东南
The
亚
ASEAN Charter and its treaty clearly stipulates that a member states should aim to enhance the security and prosperity of its member states and will not take part in any actions that threatens the sovereignty or territorial integrity, including through its use of territory. The Indonesian side also said that they will uphold the principle of respect for sovereignty and mutual benefit in carrying out defense cooperation. We always believe that defense cooperation among states must target any third party or harm the interests of any third party and should not undermine regional peace and stability. Next one, please.
Any
other questions?